Hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Me speaking, me speak, I speak, me. Alright. Last time we left off, the Nine Hells Company. You all rose from your very rough sleeps within the King's Forest after a grueling battle. One of you was greeted by Tasha. Upon conversing with Tasha, John Claude spoke with her at length about, previous conversations about the spell plague, what's going on, what her interest is in all of this you seem to be running into, and of the lich that attacked Suzel. She cooked you some breakfast ready to go, and then opened up a portal behind her that led to a barren wasteland with grey crags and dead trees with a singular cabin in the middle of all of it. You all woke to the teleport's closing magical effect, where Gregory decided to relieve himself very quickly, and Fiddle, being a bit more shifty than usual, decided to send an FM after him, and failing to do so, Gregory decided to walk till he got out of earshot, where he pulled out his newly acquired sword, Black Razor. He started conversing with it and trying to establish who was in control in the bargain that he was in. And much to his dismay, it backfired, I suppose, and let out a huge quaking sound across the forest, which alerted the rest of the party. They argued for a bit before coming back to Campfire, where Queen Alusair and Lord Magister Sivava sat, where you all quickly discussed an action plan on what to do next. Sivava urging the Queen to retreat somewhere to safety, stating the fact that they were, or indeed all of you, were still being scryed upon, and the danger had not passed. Queen Alusair, however, wanted to return back to Suzel, as the kingdom would surely fall into disarray without a leader. You all in unison, convinced Queen Alusair to come with you to Shadowdale, as it was some of your desired destinations anyway. You teleported there via Sivava's teleport and landed on a ridge overlooking the village. You walked down to where it laid, which was a simple road across a large clearing between two tree lines, and the village were rows of houses that sat on either side of the road. Upon entering the village, you find it was full of farmland, lots of farmers and simple folk, a few interesting landmarks and buildings. You sort of ascertained some of the farmers weren't acting quite right very early on, straight as you entered the village, and upon one of them, or indeed two of them, coming up and talking to you, Fiddle decided to find out some more what was going on, albeit probably due to his new nature. He quickly ascertained that there was indeed something going on in the village, a weird... The person that you're here to look for, Elminster, was being hunted in the village. After acquiring this information, you decided to make an action plan where you decided to tell a half-truth, or indeed the full truth, being sellswords, that you were hunting for Elminster. You ventured into the nearest tavern, the Old Skull Inn, where you were greeted by a bartender, and Fiddle decided to, again, take matters into his own hands, stand up on a table and crash a large dong that he... dong, that he magically appeared from his hands, and announced to everyone in the tavern and probably the village that you were here to hunt Elminster and wanted directions to his whereabouts. You were greeted by shock and awe throughout the whole tavern. Everyone looked at you, Fiddle, and were shocked. 3 individuals stood up from their tables, not saying a word, just staring daggers at you, and walked out of the tavern. As we pick up the session there, Gregory is currently sort of taken Queen Alusair, placed her behind him, as you all stand there in the tavern. Everyone a bit still shell-shocked about what you've just done, Fiddle, and the bartender is trying to smooth things over as he's trying to get everyone acting normal-ish. as he's sort of clapping. He's like, "Oh, that was a good show. That was." And he's sort of stumped for words. He doesn't really know what to say. Everyone is sort of a bit stunned still as the figures have walked down the road out of the tavern. What are you all doing?
I'm looking at Fiddle's dong.
We're all mesmerised by Fiddle's dong.
Right, I pull my trousers up and I say, no one knows where he is. Come on, I want information here.
You see this young human male gentleman with trying to grow mutton chops on the side of his face looks up at you, sat at the table that you're standing upon, looking up. He's like, and he's like looking around at everyone else. He's like, I've never heard of a Minster Ale. Is that what you said?
Obviously not. So you heard me, you understood me, and decided to swap the first syllable and the second syllable around. Come on, foolish boy. Tell me what you know.
He's looking around even more shifty. And you see the bartender reaches over. He's like leans over and he's like, listen, we're a peaceful village, alright? You don't need to be causing a ruckus round here.
Well, tell me what you know, and maybe I won't.
No, we don't know anything, alright? We don't know some Elminster that you're going on about. Nothing's happening here. And his eyebrows are like doing the obvious, like, bouncing up and down.
I get it.
I go, you can trust me.
Wink, wink.
I'm not here to hurt you.
Fiddle, you quite clearly made a very egregious mistake, and I probably think that you should get down from the table and sit in a booth now.
Yeah, fair enough. Come on then, let's go find a booth.
They're around this bottom floor of the 3-floor building. They're just kind of round tables and an open floor plan. You see the bartender's like, I'll give you some tankards of ale on the house if you just shut the fuck up.
So, sounds good. Can we talk in private soon?
He looks round and then you see he looks over your shoulder, Fiddle, to the other side of the room, to this old lady that's just sat in the corner. And then he looks back at you and he's like, no, I don't think we can, monsieur. Starts pouring all of your ales. As that's what Fiddle and Gregory are doing. Soleil and Jean-Claude, what are you doing in the midst of all this?
I'll probably just find a seat somewhere, just sit down, wait for the others.
Okay, so you go down, just find an empty table, which where you go to sit down, Soleil, because of your menacing size as a Goliath, you sit down where this young boy is sitting. And as soon as you sit down, he stands up from his chair, looks at you, and he's like, "It's all right. I was done with my ale anyway." And just walks out the tavern. Jean-Claude?
I would like to sit down at a booth and, actually, I'd like to acquire a piece of paper and a pen.
The bartender, upon pouring all the tankards, gives you a piece of parchment and inkwell with quill in it.
Cool.
He's like, I need the quill back, if you don't mind.
Yep, of course, no worries.
And as he passes it to you, you see his hand is shaking.
Is this an inn?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so what I would like to do is, oui, monsieur. What I would like to do is, I'm just okay. I would like to go and sit down at the table, please. And I would like to write a note to the barkeeper that says, please, can you tell me, fill in this blank, ways I can find Mr. Elminster. And then there's a dotted line where he writes that, and then I put 2 gold in the parchment. I say please and thank you as well. And then put 2 gold in the parchment. I roll it up, and I would like to go back to the bar and speak to the bartender and hand him his ink and quill. And I would like to say, sir, please, I would like to book a room for this evening.
You hand over the parchment and
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. He's still a bit, again, shell-shocked, so you kind of have to repeat yourself before he actually responds, and he's like, yeah, a room. We've got 4 different types of rooms available. I swear to you, it's like sleeping on a cloud, it is here. There's the common room, the modest room, the comfortable room, or the wealthy room.
How much is the wealthy room, monsieur?
It'd be 2 gold pieces for the night, and you get food and a hot bath included with that.
Sounds right. That sounds wonderful, monsieur. Thank you very much. I will take it. And as I pay for the room, I would then like to give him the parchment and just say, please, can you bring me some tea to my room in an hour or 2 hours, say. I give him some time to relax. And then I walk off before he has a chance to open it.
You walking off to the room or back to the table?
Yeah, I would like to tell the others where I'm going. My friends, I'm just going upstairs to my room. I'll be back down later.
Yeah, good idea. Let's go upstairs to our room. Nice one, JC, for getting us all a room. Why are we drinking down here? We could be drinking in the comfort of our own room. So I get up from the table and start walking towards the stairs.
Jean-Claude, as you head up the stairs towards the room, presumably given a key with a number on it so you know which door to open. Fiddle, as you walk up to the top of the flight of the stairs, as Soleil, you're sitting down on a table, and Gregory, you're kind of still standing by Queen Alusair and Lord Magister Sivava by the bar. You start hearing noises coming from down the road where
So
you
I've got
hear what
instantly,
sounds like,
as soon
and
as the whole
Soleil, you
fiddle
hear
thing
this as
happened,
well.
my hands on Black Razor.
Metal
Just ready.
clashing against stone, and to hear it, it's like almost like a distant earthquake, like just for a second, and then it clarifies as it gets closer to footsteps, and you start hearing the noise of chainmail rubbing against metal.
Can we look out the window?
Okay, so you go to look out the window as you're in the room. Are you doing it stealthily?
Since you asked, yes.
Yes, since you asked.
It's one of those things, it's like, as soon as I say it, it gives it away, but yeah, sure. Alright, roll me a stealth check.
Yeah, exactly. The stealth check decides whether I did or not. 18.
Okay, so they're like shutters on the window, so you kind of just push it open ever so slightly and look through a slit, and you see standing outside of the tavern where all 3 roads meet in the centre of Shadowdale, a large figure cladded in full plate armour, a tall knightly full helmet with just a black slit in where the eyes would be, with burning red embers peering out of them. It carries a torch by its side as well as a long sword, and it is cladded from head to toe in all these ancient glyphs all across its armour, and surrounding this plated figure is 4 robed figures, all the robes are in purple, as you see one of them kind of step forward, and the plated figure doesn't say anything, just kind of stands there staring at the tavern, as you hear one of the figures shout out, and all of you hear this in the tavern. "We're the travellers who are causing a ruckus within the inn. Step out. Now. I will only ever ask this once."
I'd want to say to Queen Alusair, you should probably go upstairs now. I'll handle this.
She looks reluctant. She's got the hood over her big bulking armor, and she looks reluctant. She's a fighter. She's not a runner. Like, this whole situation that you guys have been doing, it's definitely not sitting well with her. And then Lord Magister Sivava kind of echoes your words, and she reluctantly goes upstairs as you were left downstairs, Soleil, with a couple of the patrons who are all still stark petrified. You get the sense this is why they were scared ever since Fiddle did what he did. Fiddle and Jean-Claude, you are in the bedroom in the 3rd floor, so you're in the top floor, and the shutters do open all the way. You're just kind of slightly opened it.
He looks pretty evil, don't you think?
Yes. We.
Alright, good chat. Should we go and find Gregory?
No, I'm going to stay here with...
Because you can shoot out the window. Good
Yeah.
idea.
So at this point, I'm going to start heading towards the door. Is the door... Is it saloon doors?
No, unfortunately not. It would be
Ah.
great, but no, they're just
You could have just said yes. You could have just said it was a saloon door.
they're
It would have been
they're
great.
they're two double set of tavern doors, but they do rotate like saloon doors that to the point you can kick them open and they'll swing open.
Okay.
Can I follow Gregory as he does that?
Yeah, yes.
Just want to
Yeah,
turn and
yes.
say to him, I hope you're not fancying another woman.
What are you talking about? What are you saying to me right now?
It just seems that you're taking a liking to her is all.
Well, she's paying us. If she dies, we don't get paid anymore.
Whatever you say.
No more fancy dresses for you in that case, isn't it?
I pinch his ass as he walks in front.
You're pinching chainmail.
So Gregory, you've done this 100 times where you've prepped yourself for a battle, and you go out with a stoic face, walking past all the scared residents as you feel a pinch on your butt. And you like look around and like Soleil's like completely throwing you off your game at the moment.
I'm trying to be serious. It's a serious man. I'm trying to be serious. You have to stop. Helm's bells.
So Gregory, as you go to open the first set of two doors leading out, Fiddle and John Claude, you've very stealthily passed Queen Alusa and Sivava on the stairs and then headed down to the bottom floor as you're seeing Gregory's just about to step out.
Yeah, I think actually we decided we would stay upstairs.
Okay, so you...
Yeah, we're gonna stay upstairs. Sorry.
Okay, so you stay upstairs as Gregory, you open the first set of doors. Are you heading outside?
Yes.
And Soleil, are you following suit?
Yeah, I'm following Gregory.
Okay. So you step out of the old Skull Inn. But high, it's just kind of to mark the lands more than anything. So you step out into that area. Beyond the wall, there's about 5 feet of grassland before it hits the cobbled road. And standing in the center of the kind of junction where it shoots off into 3 different roads is this gigantic armored figure with smoldering embers for eyes and the narrow slit of the helmet, and purple robed figures kind of flanking them, all staring directly at you as the cultist who has stepped forward is sort of like, and where's the rest of you? There was 4 there, my lord, when we saw him in the tavern we did.
Well, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I feel there may have been some confusion.
And Gregory and Soleil, as you're standing at this distance away from the figure, the essence that it just emits just kind of brings your whole feeling down, similar to Shadowdale in some ways. And you can hear under the helmet just breathing through the helmet, but it's like motionless, like the chest isn't rising and falling or anything. So yeah, Gregory, what are you doing?
Can I roll an Arcana check?
To ascertain.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on with this armored guy?
Okay, sure.
Could I roll one too? I want to just like figure out what's going on with all of these people.
It's 15.
Sure, you can roll one as well. So Gregory, you got 15.
Oh, I only got 14. How rubbish.
So trying to ascertain specifically what this metal figure is in full plate, you're not really too sure. But Gregory, what your paladin innate ability, you can sense certain things, right? Do you have to cast that, or is it just something you can sense?
So yeah, I'd have to cast it.
I don't think it's a spell he casts. It's just a feature he's got he needs to take an action for. But it's not like a spell that he needs to cast.
Yeah, but I always kind of figured it was sort of like you bend down to one knee and kind of utter a prayer or something. You know, it's an action to do. It's not like a thing. You can ascertain as well that this creature, it definitely has magical capabilities. You don't know what, but it does seem quite powerful. As the cultist says once more, so where's the rest of you then?
I'm quite sure I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm sure we can all be quite rational and reasonable men. And nondescript armored figure.
You were saying the words of Elminster in these parts.
No idea who you're referring
Lord
to.
Morngrim would like to take you for further questioning.
No, I don't see why that's necessary. We've simply arrived into town and come to this tavern.
Could I start heading downstairs?
Okay, so while that's going on, sorry, what are you doing, Fiddle and JC?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna head downstairs, seeing this and seeing that they asked for 4 people, leaving JC up here. I'm gonna run downstairs and look around the tavern. Is there anybody here? Are there people still here?
Yeah, there's people still there. They are all stuck to their seats, just scared shitless of whatever's outside.
Perfect. The bartender's still there, yeah. I'm gonna go up to the bartender, point my wand at him. Go, with me now.
He's like, what? Why?
With me now.
He goes willingly. Again,
Nice.
looking over at the old lady. Are you heading outside?
Perfect. Amazing. Just, yeah, wand at his back, and I'm just gonna like push him out of the door, but not look like I'm got my wand at his back.
Okay, roll a performance check. Actually, deception. It's deception, yeah, that makes more sense.
I'd like to ready an action.
Okay, what do you want to ready?
My bow.
Nice. I only got a 5.
I will say, JC, roll me a stealth check, because in order to do that, you'd have to have the shutter at least a little bit open in order to shoot through it, so you will have to stick out.
Nice.
It's a nat 20.
It is, okay, like an SAS soldier, you just kind of ghillie suit on, peering out of the small thing with a arrowhead.
Yeah, I've got like half cover, just a tiny slot.
Beautiful.
Can I cast Hunter's Mark as well, just in case, or does that?
No, it's just a ready action. Also, Hunter's Mark will let it
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Fine.
As Fiddle, you step outside with the bartender. You see the cultist is like, well, that's not the other fella you came with.
Ah, yes it is. It definitely is. 100%.
No, it's not.
Hello, I'm JC. I shoot bows and arrows and shit.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna throw the guy to the right-hand side, just out of harm's way. Think you should all stand down and join our side. And I'm gonna cast Mass Suggestion.
Okay, doing that. Gonna prompt initiative. John Claude,
8.
Fiddle,
11.
Gregory,
3.
Solo,
24.
24.
20
Bloody
fucking
hell.
4.
You took all of our initiative.
Yeah. She kicks Gregory to the side. Step aside.
I'm trying to have a conversation, and you've run out here with your wand and a bartender.
So did I not get my spell off before initiative?
You will do, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cultist 1 and 2 fail. Cultist 3 and 4 fail. And yeah, okay, so Fiddle, what are you mass suggesting?
What was that I said? You should all give up and join our side.
Okay, so you cast your spell and you feel all the cultists and the bartender have affected, just feeling the weave around them. But around the Death Knight, you can feel the weave is warped around him. It just seems unnatural. So
Nice.
starting off with initiative is Solo. You're up.
I have a readied action.
He does.
Yes, you do. You can fire off one of your shots. 2 of your shots, sorry.
Yeah. So nobody's on our side then.
Yes, they all are except for the Death Knight.
Ah. Okay.
So you're over here, John Claude. You're in the 3rd floor.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right there.
Cool. Can you tell me what an arrow of the void does? Is it just a +1? I was going to use a splinter arrow. I thought, oh, how perfect. Now there's only one enemy. Yeah, I know.
Oh no.
You could arrow switching him, and then we burn the pub down.
With all the people inside. We're heroes.
So Arrow the Void does psychic damage instead of piercing, so it bypasses if it's resistant, and it makes no sound when it's fired or strikes the surface.
I'm going to shoot an arrow of the void, please.
Alright, roll me to hit. I assume at the Death Knight.
Yes, please. 23.
23 hits.
11 damage. No, I didn't. I can't cast Hunter's Mark. It's fine. 11. And how does he take that?
It sinks into his breastplate, and he kind of nudges slightly, but still stands on the spot. not really paying attention.
Am I still hidden because I used a silent arrow?
No, it's like when you take an action to do an attack. Actually, I'd say with the arrow, roll me another stealth check.
20.
Okay, you still seem hidden.
Cool. Then I'll shoot another stealth arrow, please.
All right, roll me to hit again.
Never mind. 16.
Okay, so this one, well, it doesn't even make a noise.
Do you want me to stealth?
No, I'd say you're fine. You still seem hidden. Okay, Soleil, you're up.
Okay, so I would like to. First, I will turn into a werewolf.
Okay, so you see Soleil tear at her arms and white fur protrudes from them as her muzzle grows from her face and alabaster white fur grows up all over her as her legs grow a couple of inches as she turns into a werewolf form.
And then I would like to do a firebolt.
A firebolt?
A firebolt.
Is it a bonus action to transform, is it?
It is.
Okay then, yeah, roll me to hit.
Fantastic.
As yeah, you turn into this feral beast and the bartender's like, oh,
I got a natural 20.
nice. Alright, roll your dice and double it.
So 19 doubled 38.
38 points of damage. As you launch this firebolt as you still trying to master the arcane spellcasting that Fiddle has taught you. And to be fair, in the short time that you've learned it, you've done quite well with the firebolt cantrip as it explodes across the breastplate and kind of charring the sides a little bit. As it does take a step back from the impact before standing back on the spot once more. Just the same coming through.
I would like to also just admit I looked and it is an action, so I'm not going to turn into a werewolf, but I will next turn, so you can leave it up.
Okay,
Sorry, my bad.
no worries. Right, is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my go.
Okay, next up on the initiative is the Death Knight. So, the Death Knight pulls out its longsword and it is going to...
And it's so long it counts as an action.
You see, as it pulls it out, it's got this kind of necrotic energy to it as it kind of spins it around like it's been fighting for over a century, honing martial techniques. As you start seeing all this, and Gregory, you notice this specifically, it's almost like holy energy start warping and wrapping around the blade as it takes a knee and impales the blade into the concrete stone as you see this destructive wave just wash out from the Death Knight itself into a 30-foot radius, which is going to hit everyone but John Claude. So I need you to all make me Constitution saving throws. That's going to be the same for the cultists as well.
Remember, you've got +3 on saves if you stood within. Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I got a nat 1.
Okay, I got a 9.
Oh, it's a 10.
Okay, so that's failures on everyone. So it's going to be 19 thunder damage and 13 radiant damage.
Oh dear.
As you see all the cultists just get seared by this brilliant light that emits from it, as it is holy energy. As it washes out and it kind of crashes against the inn itself. And John Claude, you feel yourself get like rocked back a little bit by the energy. And as it pulls the longsword out from the concrete, you see there's like almost a small crater that's appeared around where it was standing. As it just walks, just right here.
Do I see anything on the armor that I recognize at all?
Roll me a perception check.
It's a 5. What the fuck's going on with the rolls today?
Yeah, that's going to be its
5,
turn.
no, yeah, nothing.
As next up on the initiative, Fiddle.
So, I made a bunch of allies, they all died. Now the Death Knight is right in front of me.
It's towering over you. It's very large and it's just...
Okay, I'm going to grab a hold of it and use my one cantrip that I've never used, but I've kept for this exact situation. Going to put my hands on him and cast Shocking Grasp. He makes a I make a melee spell attack against it. I have advantage on the attack if he's wearing armor made of metal, which I assume he is.
It is, yeah.
Nice, fantastic. It's a 20 on the first one and a nat 1 on the second one. 20 to hit.
20 just hits.
Nice, perfect. So that is 3d8 worth of damage, which is 10 damage, and he can't take reactions until the end of his next go. Or until the start of his next turn, sorry. So he loses his reaction now. And I'm going to run inside the pub.
Okay. So as you send a shocking wave through its armor, it just kind of... It doesn't jolt. You feel the armor jolt, but in itself, it doesn't seem to stir, as it's distracted long enough for you to run into the inn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it puts you at the center of the room, where you see everyone sort of like just huddled to the corner now.
Yeah, that'll do for now.
Okay, next up on the initiative is JC.
I'm not really sure what to do. I think we're gonna keep using my arrows in the void. I think I'll shoot them twice and try and remain stealthy again. Assuming Hunter's Mark is going to reveal me as an enemy, will that unstealth me if I cast Hunter's Mark?
If you cast Hunter's Mark, it will take you out of stealth, yes.
You're not getting advantage for being hidden. So.
No, but he doesn't know
He doesn't
I'm an
know
enemy
you're
yet.
Yeah, as far as you're concerned, the Death Knight isn't aware you're there.
I think doubling your damage is more important, but
Alright,
you're cool.
fine, I'll cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay, so you cast the insignia on its breastplate as it kind of fades into it, and it is marked.
Okay, and I'll use a normal arrow for my first shot. 26 to hit,
26 definitely hits.
14 damage.
14 damage.
Cool. I'll use another normal arrow. 16 to hit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so this one ricochets off the pavement behind the Death Knight, and it does tilt its helmet up to look at you in the window this time, with his burning ember eyes staring at you.
Why does he look at me? Oh, yeah. I remember.
'Cause you've revealed
sorry,
your location.
sorry. I stick my tongue out.
Okay, you stick your tongue out. Is that the end of your turn, John Claude?
Yep.
Okay, it's Cultists 3 and 4, they're dead. Cultists 1 and 2, they're dead. Back up to the top of the initiative. Sole, you're up.
Oh, what about me? You got about me? I didn't have a go.
Oh, Gregory, sorry.
Yeah.
Why did I write you down? Gregory, you're up.
All right then, fine. I'm going to take an attack with Black Crazy.
Okay, so you pull out Black Razor, and as you do, you start feeling the surge of energy start coursing through you as you see, you hear in the back of your head the same echoing sound of "Feed me, yes."
Shut up. Shut up.
As you start feeling the dark necrotic energy start rippling through the blade, and Sole, you start seeing as all this black swell start wrapping around Gregory, as you start seeing him almost, it's like he grows a couple of inches and becomes a bit bigger as Black Razor casts haste on you, Gregory.
Oh, okay. Against my own will.
I mean, you can resist it if you want.
No, it's okay. I'll take it. I'll take the boon with a definitely not evil sword.
As yeah, you feel yourself imbued with haste as the sword has decided to weigh in on this battle.
What does haste do again? It gives me...
+2 to your AC.
Yep,
Gives
nice.
you an extra action on your turn. But if you can attack more than twice on your action, it doesn't mean you can attack again twice. It just you can attack an extra time.
Just a single time, yeah.
Yeah, or you can cast a spell.
Okay.
Okay.
All right then.
And just for flavour wise as well, you see Gregory becomes more gaunt and pale in complexion. He's almost like vampire-esque as this magical energy is overtaking him.
Right, let's take a swing.
Roll me to hit.
25.
25 definitely hits.
Nice. 13 regular damage plus 10 radiant, so 23 damage overall.
23.
Yep. Then I shall attack another time, and I shall use actual Divine Smite.
Okay. Roll me to hit.
That's a 29 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
So that is 14 points of regular damage plus 18 points of radiant.
So 32 total.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay. The knight's starting to look damaged as you see Gregory swipes up twice and he carves it into this breastplate, tearing it open as there's 2 streaks across its torso now as it kind of wobbles back a bit before leaning forward again. It's
Then I'm going to take another attack. I still have my bonus action as well, don't I?
You do, yeah.
Yeah, so as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Staggering Smite.
Okay, what's that do?
So Staggering Smite, the next time you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration, your weapon pierces both body and mind, and the attack does an extra 4d6 psychic damage. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, and can't take reactions till the end of its next turn.
Amazing. Okay.
Alright, here goes. Of course it's the last one that fucks. Alright, 15, yep.
Okay, so as you imbue Black Razor with this other watch and the thrown energy,
It's,
and then go to
it's
swing.
concentration for up to 1 minute, so it's still active. I just need to hit.
Okay, so you got this kind of whirling divine essence whirling around the dark blade as you go to swing, but this one sidesteps as the Death Knight stares you down. Is that the end of your turn, Gregory?
Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay, Soleil, you're up.
Okay, I would like to use one of my primal rights, so I take 5 damage from it, and I've put on the frozen right of the frozen. So
Okay, so you see Soleil pulls out a maul and you see the end of it becomes frost tipped and covered in ice as it crackles, and you take some, well, whatever damage it is, sacrificing some blood. Okay.
and then I'd like to go up to the old knight and give him a slap.
Okay, I can see you can bolt over the wall and then come around this way. You can't really get into a flanking position because there's a wall in the way, so it's still just a straight roll.
No worries. I'm not even lying right now. I just rolled another nat 20. Yeah, I don't know what the
Hey.
fuck's going on.
Yes, it. Okay, roll your damage and so roll your dice and double it, including the primal right.
12, that's doubled, and then another 10, so that's 21 points. No, 22, sorry.
Okay, the Death Knight is starting to look very damaged now as you strike across its back and indent the breastplate and the other way now, and it's starting to inhale heavily. Okay, that's the end of your turn. Death Knight's turn. It looks around at both of you and at how much damage you lot have done, and it's looking at its tether's edge now. So you see with the torch it's holding, it kind of drops it, but as it drops through its hand, it catches the flame out from the top, so the flame doesn't carry with the torch as it drops to the ground. And you see it starts swirling the flame around in its hand, and then does another kind of clenches its fist and then punches the ground and lets out a Hellfire Orb, which explodes in a 20-foot radius, centered on a point. I need Soleil and Gregory to make a dexterity saving throw.
I still get your +3, don't I, Bobby?
Yes, you do. And it's 21. Yeah.
21's a success. Soleil?
20 for
Soleil?
me.
20, success. You both succeed. So 35 points of fire damage, halved to 17, and 35 points of necrotic damage, halved to 17 as well. As you see, as the Death Knight does this, and you see this ripple of fire and necrotic energy just explode out from the inn once more, some of the inn catching fire from it in the thatch roof. You both succeed the dexterity savers. You're not knocked back from the blast despite being at its impact radius. And as you look back, you see the Death Knight is standing there, and you get ready to attack again before it drops to both its knees, and you see the plate is all engulfed in flame underneath, and its eye sockets is just blowing out fire. It is completely been engulfed by the damage, and the suit of armor just drops to the ground in front of you as it is sort of sacrificed itself to take you out. As the commotion ends for now, and you're hearing the muffled screams of people inside out of fear and anxiety about what's going on outside as combat is over for the moment.
I stick my head up from inside and go, did we do it?
Yes. We won.
Yes! 9 hours!
Yeah, I put Black Razor away.
I'd like to go and ask the bartender about reading my parchment
You need
now.
to save him. He died.
What?
You're probably doing death saving throws.
Oh my god.
JC, get down here!
Oh, god damn it. He owes me 2 gold.
JC, get down here right now!
Yeah, I'm going.
So, as you run down the stairs and come out to the front of the inn once more, you run over straight to the bartender that's down on the ground, and you see he's completely singed and been decayed from the necrotic explosion and the fire explosion, as he's just a sizzling pile of meat on the ground, basically.
Shame.
I'd like to cast first level Cure Wounds.
Okay, so you kneel down, put your hands on his chest, cross them over, utter a word, cast a spell, wait a moment or 2.
Woo!
Doesn't
7
start.
hit points.
I didn't think
Doesn't-
he's getting back up.
He's still dead.
I mean, is it worth the... Your Majesty, have you got another diamond
No.
on you?
No, we're not doing that.
No. Oh,
She
oh.
and Savava are still upstairs.
He is dead, unfortunately.
Oh, I'd like to get my parchment back with my 2 gold in it.
Definitely burnt to it, Chris. The gold won't be there.
You see the parchment singed, but yeah, there are 2 golds there, but they're very much charred black now.
I cast mending on the gold.
I don't know if that actually works against.
And prestidigitation will, fix them up. That'll clean them. And then mending will fix any cracks.
Yeah, a mixture of those 2 spells, if you're willing to go out the way, it's like as good as new afterwards.
Beautiful. 2 gold.
As you do that, you see this elderly woman step out from the inn. She's like the first to emerge. You see she's probably in her like 80s, and she looks around. She's like, "My boy, my boy!" And she runs over and kind of tries pushing past all of you. She's very frail and weak, but she gets in between all of you, and she just drops to her knees in front of the bartender, and she's like, "A sweet boy," as she reaches down and goes to grab his body, but it's still burning hot, and she kind of burns her hands, and she goes to grab it again and like burns herself even more. She's just trying to grab the searing corpse in front of her. She's seeing this kind of just this sorrow, this grief happening before you.
I'm very sorry for your loss, madam.
Shame, isn't it?
If you had a diamond on you worth like 500 gold pieces, this man can bring it back.
Shut your mouth!
Whoa!
If you just stayed quiet like the rest of us, you'd still be alive.
But we defeated the bad guys.
Yeah, or what? You'd still be subjugated.
And alive.
Fine, I don't have time for this. I walk back into the bar.
You see her like chin's like shaking, and as you go to turn around, Fiddle, she starts lifting up a finger towards you.
I get ready to cast counterspell.
Can I quickly just
Lop off her arm.
decapitate her?
Don't decapitate her, no.
Can I decapitate? Because, okay, Black Razor hasn't had a kill yet, and it's hungry.
Roll me to hit.
Jesus Christ.
17.
17 hits.
13 damage plus.
Her head goes rolling across the cobbled streets as the limp body falls back and kind of falls back onto a now burning sun, where after a moment her headless corpse is now catching a flame.
What the fuck was that, Gregory?
As you hear more screams coming from inside the inn, and Gregory, you hear everything becomes tunnel vision for a moment as you start feeling all this energy get absorbed into the soul, into the blades. So you benefit from the Soul Hunter thing from Black Razor, as you hear the voice in the back of your head once more. Good. Very good. As after a moment you shake your head and you're back in Shadowdale again.
Why did you do that?
Do what?
Kill the woman?
What woman?
Yeah, you need to get rid of that sword, Gregory.
Nothing wrong with the sword.
Right now.
No.
Right now.
I look.
That sword needs to go.
Want to look down at Black Razor, then look at Fiddle, then look back to Black Razor, and clench the sword a little bit harder.
Yeah, you try it. You just fucking try it. Holding my wand in.
I'd like to ready an action.
Okay. So, John Claude, are you like standing at Fiddle's side, I imagine?
Yeah.
While this is going on.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I was
so-
stood next to Gregory.
We all turn to the dark side. So yeah, Gregory, as you grasp the hilt of your blades. You see John Claude stands behind Fiddle. Sole, what are you doing in this standoff?
Can I get ready to kind of restrain Gregory?
So you prepare as well as Fiddle and Gregory. You're just staring daggers at each other. You're not focused on anyone else but each other.
Should we both roll in intimidation checks? Just to resolve this. See who blinks first.
Right, yeah, go ahead.
Fiddle gets advantage, right? Because he's got more people on his side, like 3.
I got a 5.
Oh wait, I rolled, but it didn't say.
Yeah, I think you got 19
yeah.
on here. Nice, I got a 5.
Fiddle, he looks like he's about to lop off your head.
Gregory, please.
No more conversations about the sword. The sword stays until Mirage is dead.
Not if it costs lives.
She was dying anyway. She had nothing left to live for. Her son was charred to pieces because of Fiddle's mistake. She's dead because of you. You could have kept your mouth
It's just
shut.
hurtful, Gregory. It's just hurtful. I hold the wand in my hand and think about which spell to cast. And I really grip it really tight. Ah! And put my sword back in my, put my wand back in my pocket and walk into the bar.
Okay, so you're right next to the front, the entrance. So you just put your wand back in. You just storm in. A saloon-like tavern door just swinging open as you crash through it.
Yeah, I put Black Razor away.
Okay, Fiddle.
Yes.
As you walk back into the tavern, there's no innkeep there. A lot of the,
No,
a lot of the,
mom either.
nope. The Old Skull Inn is now currently without ownership. As you see, all the locals are still huddled into the corner, petrified of what's going on. You've seen Queen Alusair and Lord Sivava have sort of come halfway down these stairs. Queen Alusair is standing at the top, and Lord Sivava has his staff readied, and he's sort of pointing it towards you lot, sort of, back off. And you see one of the young Shadowdale local that you were standing on his table doesn't walk up to you, but kind of stands up from across the room, and he's like, "If I tell you where Elminster is, will you promise not to kill any more?" And you see one of the locals tugs his vest, and she's like, "No, we cannot tell." He's like, "I don't want anyone else dying.
Listen
'cause
to
of
me
him.
now.
It's not fair."
No one else has to die. Tell us where Elminster is.
Yeah, no intimidation check needed. They are petrified. He looks back at the other local and then looks over at you. He's like, "We don't know where he is exactly. Only the riddle he gave us to find his location. He said only those intelligent enough to solve it will be able to find his lair."
We might as well give up now.
Well, back to Suzette we go.
You see the young lad closes his eyes, thinks really hard. "If you seek the old sage, you must travel to where Saloon reflects Elminster's tear, and Sanctuary's mirror will be made aware." And he opens them. Yes, that's it. "Please, leave us be."
Go again once more as I pull out a pen and paper.
So I've copied it into the chat, but once more. "If you seek the old sage, you must travel to where Saloon reflects Elminster's tear, and Sanctuary's mirror will be made aware." As the boy finishes, you see Savava whispers something to the queen, and she walks up the stairs, and he shouts over, "We are no longer travelling together. You go your way and we go ours.
What?
This is not honourable conduct."
Gregory, please just go and wait outside. I'll go and speak to them, and then I go over to the boy who just told us that information, and I hand him a sack with 200 gold inside. This isn't how we usually operate. I know this obviously isn't enough, but here you go.
As you go to pull out the sack, you see the whole group that's huddled with him all flinch, thinking you're gonna do something, and then you pull out the sack, and he doesn't reach out to grab it. He literally, they're trying to recoil as far back. They're right against the wall, and they're recoiling further away from you.
So weird. I just put it on the table, and I go and walk upstairs.
Okay, so you go to walk upstairs, and you see the room that you rented. You see Sivava's standing outside the room, and as soon as you walk up to the top flight of stairs, it's like directly adjacent to where this staircase is. He holds out his staff once more. He's like, "I just said We do not want any parts with you.
They're very, very funny, survivor. Very funny. I want to speak to the queen.
Well, that's tough shit.
I mean, I'm going in and speaking to her, and I start walking towards him.
Roll wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw. Is it a spell?
Yep. It is a
I'm
spell.
going to counter spell.
He counter spells.
He counter spells my counter spell.
Yep.
How do you know what level I counter spelled at?
I assume 3rd level.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. A wisdom saving
Okay.
throw. Okay.
He's also going to give you a 6 on your roll.
A 6 on my roll. A what?
Using a portent.
A what?
A portent die. As he is a divination wizard.
Interesting.
He gets 2 portent rolls a day
Yeah.
as a divination wizard, and he can choose to replace anyone's roll with that number.
Oh, I see.
So he basically gives you a 6 plus whatever your modifier is. His DC to beat's 19 for this.
Nice, yeah. My modifier's +7.
Okay, so you go just
Do you not have advantage on wisdom saving throws against magic as you know?
Yeah, I do.
yeah, but how a
Oh, no,
portent
okay, I see. That's fine. Yeah,
works is it just replaces whatever you would get basically. That's part of like the divinations thing. And as you're kind of held there, Fiddle, for like 6 seconds, he's like comes up and whispers in your ear, turn round, walk out to the tavern. Her Majesty does not want to see you. You get another roll if you wish to break free.
Yes, please. It's more like it. 23.
Okay. You break out of the hold as he kind of pulls away from your ear.
Nice. I'd like to cast banishment on him.
I'm going to say for expedience sake, because he could. I feel like you two could be here for a long while, counterspelling each other.
Yeah, he counterspells me. I counterspell him. I'll mark off another 3rd level. What does he get on his roll there?
Okay.
Charisma 19.
Rolled a natural 18.
Fuck's sake. With his -1.
He looks.
charisma.
He looks around at you and he's like, "Listen, we can play at this all day.
We can. Can I speak to the queen?
There's greater threats in this village. I fear what's at that temple if there was one of those outside."
Yeah, and I'd like to speak to the queen, please. Not leaving until I speak to her.
Roll persuasion check.
Nice. 19.
You leave your wand outside.
Okay. Now I pop out FM. I hand FM the wand.
Cheep cheep. He takes the wand and he starts like kind of picking his nose with it.
Then I go back inside. Oh, yeah, go inside, I suppose.
Savava steps aside as you walk in and you see Queen Alisair's taken her hood off. You see the crown on her blonde hair, the long ponytail that frames her jawed square face. As she's sort of sat on the bed, hands clasped together, jagged greatsword to the side of her, and she's just kind of looking down on the floor, just kind of pondering, lost in thought.
Your Majesty, sorry to disturb you.
What do you want?
You've really met us at a pretty terrible time. Thought my mental affliction was probably going to be the worst of our issues rolling forward, but Gregory seems to have gone off the deep end. We need your help. We want you with us. I'm sure you would like our help. We're both going to the same place. I think we should stick together.
She doesn't look up at you, but she continues to look on the ground. She's like, do you know the funny thing? When I watched you and the Bronzebeard sellsword companies fight in the arena, there was a startling difference between your two companies. And she looks up at you and meets your gaze. Do you know what that was?
No.
One didn't fight for the enjoyment of it. One of them fought with purpose, much like a knight does, with honour, and for good, I guess. It's a bit cheesy to say. And for a moment, I thought that these, whatever you claim to be, sell yourself for coin, whatever. Thought maybe something more. Thought you could be something. And Gregory. And she kind of like looks off for a second, and you're like, like a bit of fondness in there. And then she's like, well, more fool lie. I don't think I could ever trust you all.
How dare you? How dare you?
You came back and
We're currently facing a massive affliction to one of our most trusted members. He's losing his mind to an evil sword who's trying to take over his soul, and now's when you abandon us, when you think that we're all of a sudden fighting for coin. We haven't seen coin in months. We're not mercenaries, we're goddamn heroes.
Why did you come back and save me?
And I storm out without listening to her.
You storm out, and you've literally caught her like mid sentence, and as you just walk out and you storm past Savava and walk down the stairs as FM flies behind you with your wand. Cheep cheep. While that's going on, what are the rest of you doing?
So, I'd like to take a look around and then just storm. Is there like a room nearby I could just go to?
You're like out in the street, and there's like rows of houses, like they're people's houses along the street. If I point you to the map, so you've got like different numbers on there. Roll me a perception check, see if you can spot anything that maybe you could just seek some, I suppose, solitude in.
It's an 8.
You see it across the road. It's about like a 2-3 minute walk down the street, and then a left. You see there's like a big kind of mining pit called Error's Pit. No one seems to be there at the moment. Seems quite quiet. You could probably head there. Everyone that's still about, you can see people are in their houses and they're looking out of their shuttered windows. And as soon as you look over at them, Gregory, they just kind of quickly close them.
Yeah, so I'm just going to think, what have I done? What have I done? Need to get rid of this sword. Knowledge isn't worth this. I do want to grab my pendant around my neck. Just start praying. Helm, by any slim chance, still alive. I was your devoted son once. I miss your warmth, the guidance you gave. I don't want this anymore. Can't do this. Not strong enough to resist the urge. Sword. Strayed too far from the path for too long. Don't know who I am anymore. If you can hear this, Helm, please forgive your wayward son.
Gregory, roll me a D100.
75.
You don't hear anything in reply.
Is there anything that I can just smash?
I could say like the wall that runs the perimeter of the inn. It's not very well built. It's like stones that are plonked on top of each other again, just to plot the land. You could probably kick it over.
Yeah, kick it over, let out a scream. And I guess, is there like a solid wall I can just punch?
I'd say no, but there are like houses about if you want to punch someone's
I don't want
house.
to run up to another house just to punch it. I'd kick some rocks.
It's quite
Yeah.
barren here. It's quite open. So while you're doing that, Gregory, Soleil and John Claude, what are you doing? As you're seeing Gregory have a breakdown in the street, essentially.
I will go over to Gregory, kind of come up behind him, put my hand on his shoulder.
What do you want?
I've come over to comfort you, but if you want me to go, then I shall.
Just don't look at me. So at this point, Gregory's, I suppose he's welling up. He's got the single tear, bloodshot eyes. I don't know who I am anymore. I've become a monster.
I'll just kind of turn him to face me. I'm gonna put my arms around him, lay my chin on top of his head.
What are you doing?
I'm giving you comfort.
What I need. What have I done? What have I done? Poor woman.
Don't worry about it. We've all made mistakes.
Get rid of this sword.
Give the sword to me and I'll get rid of it for you.
No, you can't touch it.
Confused.
John Claude, what are you doing while this is going on?
I'm in the bedroom.
So
Bedrooms where the queen is.
yeah.
I was there
Survivor's
first.
not.
Yeah.
You've just been standing in the corner the whole time.
Stealthily.
just being quiet and pretending you don't exist.
Well, fine. The alternative is I'm downstairs. I go put my hand on Gregory's other shoulder and then a finger up his bum.
No, where do you want to be? Where would John Claude be?
Rolling a fag, looking at Soleil and Gregory.
Yeah, leaning out the window, smoking a rollie.
Gregory's crying like just a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I'll heckle him. Murderer! She was so innocent! She had so many years left!
Youngest woman you've ever killed.
You see, Soleil Gregory's just crying hard as he's being heckled.
Oh no.
Your friends are bad. They're not good friends.
What? Maybe they're both evil.
Maybe. Pretty sure the queen's evil. Just had a conversation with her upstairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's pissed with Gregory for killing that woman.
That makes sense.
Gave her a piece
Although
of my
I have to
mind.
say, I've never been convinced on her claim to the throne.
No, me neither. But
Not my
whatever.
circus. We've got other things.
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't we deciphering the thing? Can we roll a dice to decipher it, or do we have to get out a pen and paper?
Let's give Gregory a moment with Soleil to
Oh yeah, all right.
figure himself out.
I would order a beer.
Good point.
I mean, you see
I'm
all
gonna go and grab
the
some alcohol
people.
from behind the thing. Oh yeah, I turn around to all the people there. Like, go!
Yeah, they're
Go
still
away!
in the corner. They jump out their skins.
Leave!
They run out the back door. They were still there, just listening to you guys, just not doing it. Yeah, so they all run out the back door. You now have the inn's completely empty. You've got the run of the building basically.
Perfect. I go and grab a bottle of wine and 2 glasses and pour one out for me and JC.
Okay. As you're doing that, you hear this kind of magical effect happen upstairs, and then nothing.
It's the end of the Queen.
There goes our money.
Still owe me for that dress.
Shh, carry on crying.
What are you talking about? Not crying. I'm fine. I'm okay. A lot of pollen in the air right now.
I've heard about this pollen. I understand.
You let go of me.
Not until we find a way to get rid of this sword.
It'll take a long while.
Why don't you just chuck it on the floor for now, and I'll go tell the
Gre-
others.
Gregory, as you kneel there, you hear it's quiet now. The voice is not so prominent, but you still hear in the back of your head just kill.
I know what I have to do. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do it.
Fuck's sake.
Seriously, so you can let go of me now. It's kind of cramped.
As long as you don't kill anyone else unnecessarily.
She could have had a weapon. I'm sure I saw a knife.
Don't worry about it. It's done now. It's done. We move on.
Going to let go,
If I must.
please.
Kind of kiss him on top of his head quick. Sneak it in.
Very uncomfortable with that.
Your Quote will love it.
I've decapitated a woman. You've kissed me on the forehead. You've made me feel like a small child that's accidentally broken my sister's jigsaw puzzle. I've murdered someone in cold blood. Okay, I don't need forehead kisses or a hug, and it's all going to be okay. It's not. Right? I'm a murderer now.
He's right, he is.
JC!
Do you want to hear a story?
What, a bedtime story? You're going to baby me some more?
No. When I was first bitten and got my curse, my first transformation, I woke up, there was a lot of blood, and there was a body. And what could I do? I don't even remember it. You move on. You've done wrong, and you move on. Or you might as well just go kill yourself now. And what would be the point of that?
Where was this? When was this?
It was a long time ago. Like I said, you move on.
Where did this happen?
Laskin. That was where I killed someone. I don't even remember it.
Lusk.
And that's where I met Sahala. And she helped me. And then she was dead.
I suppose we're not very good people, are we?
No. But I'd like to find someone who is a good person. I doubt they exist.
Anyway, you can let go of me now. Put me down.
Yeah, I put him back down on his feet.
Okay, I'll say after a moment you rejoin Fiddle and John Claude in the tavern where they've sort of gotten a drink. Would you guys have gotten a couple more tankards for Soleil and Gregory, or just you two?
Yeah, I think when they walk in, we grab a couple more glasses and put them down.
You put them down.
How you feeling, Gregory?
Not well.
Me neither.
I'm sorry. It wasn't me.
I know. It's okay. We'll deal with this. We'll deal with this together as a party.
I don't know how. I don't know how we're going to deal with this.
Let's just take it one day at a time, yes?
Well, today might be today. I've murdered an old woman. Tomorrow I might destroy this entire village.
And then we will deal with it.
So, Nine Hells, what are you doing then as you sit down, sort of pour over some ale, which the ale in here, there's two different types. There's Black Heart, Dark Stout, or Midnight's Kiss. Or there's also wine or whiskey if you wanted something a bit stronger.
Yeah, I grabbed a bottle of wine, so just have a few glasses of wine. Whilst we have a look at this riddle.
So, in terms of trying to decipher for clues, because this has gone in a different direction, I will say, in terms of characters, and then it will be you as players to sort of discern what this means. Who is anyone proficient in religion or history?
No.
I'm not proficient in either. JC isn't.
Okay, Sole,
Yes.
roll me a history check.
Okay. That is a 25.
Okay, so in your time studying people and reading literature in the Lunar Hall, you've read a book on Shadowdale. It is a known location throughout Faerunian history as suffering quite a few invasions, believe it or not, being very, I suppose, just very easy town to attack, or village to attack, should I say. It's suffered a number of them, and as such, you remember a few different locations, specifically in Shadowdale. So if I point you towards the tab with the map in it, Shadowdale tab on Discord, so you've got the long road, and then you've got certain numbers on there. Just having a think about, the different locations you've heard of. Number 2 is where you landed when you teleported here. Number 4 is a old decrepit ruins located in a small kind of bit of foliage next to the large hill that overlooks the village, which is known as the ruins of Elminster's Tower. Number 3, so there is a large lake that is located adjacent to the ruins that is known as Elminster's Pool. So in terms of any named references of Elminster within Shadowdale, they are the two locations that are named specifically after him. The Twisted Tower of Ashaba, it was actually the Lord's home, Lord Morngrim. So that wouldn't be where Elminster would have stayed if he did reside here. It would be out of those two locations.
Nice. And they're just like a big lake on the outskirts of the town. And
It's
then
just a big
ruined-looking
lake.
tower in like the woods outside of town.
Yes.
Well, I think that's where we need to go over to then. We walk over to Elminster's tower and have a look in the reflection of Elminster's lake. These are all, good buzzwords to solve this riddle.
Seems like the only plan
Feel
we
like
have.
Yeah, I mean, our luck can't get much worse.
No.
Okay, so you finish up your drinks, make your way over. It's roughly about midday at this point. Takes you about 20 minutes to walk over.
Should we have a conversation before we leave about Gregory leaving the sword?
Yes.
It's up to you.
Or maybe I'm mentioning this to Soleil as we start walking. I just sort of like hang back a little bit with Soleil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what should we do about this?
Well, we need to get rid of it. It seems he's reluctant for anyone else to touch it, though.
Yeah, he seems quite touchy about it. I'm not sure force is going to work. But if it comes to it, I think we can take him. Just to subdue him and take the sword, but I really think that is a, worst case scenario. If he goes to kill again.
What if we take
goes
it
to
when he's
kill again.
sleeping?
Maybe. That sounds risky. I'd be surprised if he even sleeps at this point.
Worst comes to worst, like you said, we take it by force. I'm sure JC would help us.
Yeah, perhaps. We're definitely going to need to send it somewhere. Get rid of it properly.
This is your domain.
Tell you what, if we can get it away from him, I can teleport nice and easily to Candlekeep and drop it off and teleport straight back. Just go and drop it there, hand it to somebody important in Candlekeep. Gregory doesn't need to know where I've gone. But again, I think, if he can come willingly and if he can give up the sword willingly, it'll be much better for him and for the party.
Well, he seems like he wants to give it up.
When he's himself.
Yes.
Well, be ready. Maybe we should have a code word for... Grab him now!
How about, sourdough?
Sourdough?
I like sourdough.
But that means you're more likely to say it anyway.
I promise I won't. I promise.
Okay.
I'd like the sourdough and olives, please.
Get him! Get him!
What are you doing?
Okay, that sounds good. Sourdough it is. Operation Sourdough.
Perfect.
Okay, so as you walk over towards the northern side of the village, you arrive at Elminster's Pool, which is a huge kind of lake. Imagine the lake out of King Arthur stories with Lady of the Lake sort of style. Very much like that, with a tree line kind of borders one side of it, with the other side just farmland leading to Shadowdale. There's a small island in the center of the lake, and then behind the tree line that runs around the perimeter, just sticking out the very top of the trees, is what remains of the old tower of Elminster.
Nice. Well, I suppose we, should we go into the tower first and have a look around?
Okay, so you walk through the tree line about 5 minutes and you arrive at the remains of this tower. Seems like it's been long since abandoned and nearly over a few centuries old by the looks of it, which doesn't really add up to the timeline of Elminster. Very odd. It's all pretty much crumbled. The tower that once stood here is all crumbled down. You can see there'd be like multiple floors to the tower by how it's built, but they're no longer standing anymore. The actual courtyard itself is quite large, which would have housed a number of different buildings, but again, all crumbled and long forgotten. You're essentially just walking through just a ruin. There's not much to find here, even spending about a good 10-15 minutes trying to find any secret entrances or any sign of life at all. It's all devoid of anything.
Could I roll a religion check to see what Saloon represents?
You can. I'll say the DC's higher because you're not proficient in it.
Okay, 13.
13. I'll say if you are speaking out loud and trying to convey this out to the group,
I'll
could.
involve everyone else.
You
So
could.
what is Saloon? What's her symbol? Is she like fidelity? Is she like war? Gregory, what does Saloon represent?
Well, we'll do a religion check. It's a 7. Well, you see, back in the monastery, you might be surprised to know that I didn't graduate top of class when it came to religious iconography.
Okay.
Reading.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
Most other
Anybody
things
that
didn't
wants to can
involve,
roll a religion
physical
check,
activity.
as Gregory seems to have skipped out on those lessons about the greater deities of the world.
Yeah, I'll roll a religion check.
All right, you roll me a religion check, JC.
7.
uh,
Well, I back in the monastery.
So, Fiddle, you know of Saloon. You know she's a greater deity within Faerun. She has many worshippers.
Nice. Yeah, I assume there was a temple to her in Waterdeep growing up.
Yeah. So you do know her symbol. Just speaking out loud and stuff. It jogs your memory after a while. And her domains are knowledge. So she would show up in Candlekeep as well.
Nice. Good.
Another domain of hers is life, as well as twilight.
Twilight, eh?
And the symbol starts coming back to you of a pair of eyes surrounded by 7 stars. And she's very much involved with astrology.
I think we have to wait till night. Make our way over to the lake. Look up at the stars through the lake.
Okay. So you just staying by the edge of the lake.
Yeah, I think so. Unless anybody else has any other pressing business.
If we're waiting, I'd like to open my magic box.
Oh, your puzzle box, yes. Haven't done that for a while.
All right. Roll me 3 investigation checks.
22.
22.
Nice.
First hour passes by. Fully concentrated.
Nat 1.
He drops it in the lake.
No, please. No.
You get to exactly an hour and 1 second in where you start the second sequence where your finger yet again reopens a cut where you the many plastered fingers as
Yeah.
it once again slams shut. This damn box.
This damn box better be good. I hope it's 1,000,000 gold.
As you camp out of the lake, it's about midday, so it's a good 6 or 7 hours till nightfall. Just sort of sat out there. Suppose some of you doing separate things, passing some time, and you hear still distant wails of crying from the commotion that happened in Shadowdale from here. Fiddle, you notice in particular the thing that you spied when you first entered here, the shrine to Mistra. It's like a it's almost like a migraine that you feel every now and then in that direction. You just feel it, and it bothers you. There's nothing supernatural happening over there that you can see or anything like that. It just bothers you. And it's the same kind of feeling you felt ever since the shockwave yesterday, with the rupture opening in the sky, which, bear in mind, is still very much present up above. You can still see it even up here. Nightfall comes and passes. John Claude, I imagine, cooked you up a nice turnip soup. And
Love a good turnip soup.
all the stars in the sky seem to appear. The cold frosts of winter start creeping in again. It starts turning cold. Start feeling the condensation. Exhale heavily from your breath. So you kind of keep warm. And It has turned nightfall at the lake. Nothing seems to be happening overtly.
Okay, I'd like to walk up to the lake
Mm-hmm.
and look into the lake, look at the reflection of the stars.
Okay, so you look into the lake and you can see all the different constellations of Faerun. It's very still water. It mirrors it perfectly. You can see the moon rising high, and it does jog your memory at this point, kind of figuring this out. The moon is named Saloon, and as you see it kind of rising this precipice, it reflects the night sky nicely. Nothing seems to happen though.
Can I walk around the lake until Elminster's tower is reflected in the lake?
You can. So the lake is massive, and it takes you about 5-10 minutes to walk around to the other side, to where Elminster's tower, you kind of angle it and the tree line, and the trees, once you walk around there, become non-existent in the lake. And as you creep around to Elminster's tower within the lake, you can see it's a full standing, fully built, lived-in tower that's reflecting within the lake itself. Lights beam from the window. A tall spire stands with a huge courtyard full of many buildings.
Nice. I pull out my sending stone and send a message to JC.
Okay.
Quick, come around the lake. I've figured it out, I think.
I appear at the lake.
Okay, you peer at the lake.
Where I already
and-
was, probably by
Yeah.
Fiddle side anyway.
No, you're on the other side of the lake. You see the stars and the moon.
Okay.
Nice. Quick, come around the lake. I've figured it out. I'll send up a spark now so you can find out where I am. Pew!
Okay, you quickly
There
run.
he is. I go over there.
Okay.
Bring the others.
Soleil, Gregory, you going with?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you run round to the lake where Fiddle's standing, and he points to the lake, and you can see the same thing. The reflection of no trees in there, just a solitary spire surrounded by houses in a courtyard, all with lights on, and seems very lived in.
There it is. I found it. Not a clue how to get there, but
Maybe we should just wave.
yeah.
What do we want first? What do we want for a swim?
Let's just try like swimming over the lake.
Okay, so you're all going in for a dip.
Yep.
Okay. You all step into the lake and it's freezing cold. It sends you into like a quick shock before you start getting used to it, but it's still too cold for it to be, staying in there for long periods of time as you start swimming across the lake. And bear in mind, it's a large lake. You start swimming out and out and out, and you can still see it in the reflection. But you look up to where you are on the surface, and it's still the same trees with the ruin behind it. But you look in the lake, and it's there in the reflection, but where you are, it's still the same. You're all currently just paddling, trying to stay afloat in the lake.
Hypothermia for nothing.
Is anybody got any ideas?
Well, you're the magic man. Do a magic trick.
I mean, okay. I'd like to cast Alter Self on myself and give myself an aquatic adaptation. Like sprout gills and grow webbing between my fingers. I can breathe underwater, and I gain a swimming speed equal to my walking speed. Like, that's better.
Similar to Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I go, that's better. And then I swim under the lake, maybe.
Okay, so you dive down.
Yeah, I dive down.
Okay, so you all see as Fiddle becomes amphibious in nature and then dives underneath, and the ripples go past you, and you don't see him for a long moment.
JC, did you see that? His nature became rather amphibious.
I did spot that, old chap.
It was looking pretty amphibious, I have to say.
in nature.
His nature. It really was amphibious.
So, Oliver, what do I find out with my amphibious nature?
As you dive straight down, you swim, and almost as you start diving down, you start feeling yourself floating up, And as you resurface, you're like, you know, it's like a warped, weird gravity thing. You're like looking around, and you're like, I don't know why, and you clear the water from your eyes, and you look around. There's nothing there, and then you swim around on the spot and look around behind you, and there you see, standing in all its glory, Elminster's tower, standing in its own solitary place with a courtyard.
I use the message cantrip, hoping that they're still within 120 feet of me through some weird hand-wavy magic. And I message cantrip all of them. And say, quick, swim down! Swim down through the water.
So, question. Does the message cantrip travel through planes?
It says you point a finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message. It doesn't mention planes at all.
Point it at a creature.
Yeah.
You can't...
But they can be like on the other side of a wall and stuff.
Yeah, but you can't see them.
No, but it can follow a straight line and travel freely around corners or through openings.
I'm
I
gonna say.
assume this whole lake is an opening of a portal, and I can definitely send it through a portal. I don't know, it's a bit of flavour. Either that or I can swim back down and grab them and swim back up.
I think that'll probably be quicker.
Nice, I do that then. Yeah. So I swim back down.
Swim
I
back
reappear
down,
next to
and
them.
you feel yourself walk back up again. As soon as you swim down, you start swimming up again, and you resurface next to him.
I did it. I'm the cleverest little gnome in the whole wide world. Follow me,
But
friends.
how are we supposed to fiddle our nature? It's not amphibious enough.
It's fine. Use your what's a scientific word for land? Use your mammalian nature to swim after me.
Oh my god. So, as you
It'll be sufficient. Trust me.
all reluctantly follow Fiddle down, and as you do, you start feeling the same sensation as swimming down ends up taking you up, and you resurface, and there you all see the same thing Fiddle saw, in its own solitary island floating in the middle of nowhere, in the depths of space. It's a solitary tower, all lights gleaming, and a courtyard full of buildings, populated by people. And that is where we're going to end the session there.
Nice.
All right.
Nice, nice.
Wait.
We did it. Da 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 da.
Bada bing 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 bing. It's the end.
It's a good little soundbite there.